Ooh. Morning, YouTube friends and family. A little bit of a crust on top of these 30 centimeters of snow. 1 foot for you standard US people. What a great storm yesterday. I just love those storms. However, I did not go back out last night to rescue my car. So it's sitting somewhere out there on the driveway, waiting to be uncovered. Alright, first step, plow driveway. Second step, take kid to bus stop. Third step, go to work. Hey, thanks for coming with me on this Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. And I'll see you in the plow truck. It's gonna be a tough plow today, I think. Alright, that is done. Man, I never got so close to the edge of going over by the garage there, by the garage door. I was like perched. And I felt like I was teetering, but I wasn't. Man, this was a difficult plow to do. It was just chunky with fluffy underneath it. It's just a weird plow. Now I got a shovel, and then I gotta get to work still. I just backed this into here on fumes. This thing is nearly out of gas. It was babe. Honkers. He's throw off a little bit of heat there, huh?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Can't blend.
You guys aren't done with this kitchen yet? Yeah. That's some heat.
It's very hot. That fireplace.
Well, you don't see many fireplaces anymore, do you? Jeez. House this size in Maine gotta have a fireplace. You know, all the rage is people are moving to these propane insert fireplaces, which can be a really good alternative in a very well air-sealed house that has problems with draft. But that house is just so big and enormous. Why is my car not driving? These are the shelves. They need to be painted on both sides. I'm just easing the edges right now because these are something that might be handled. And so I just don't want any really sharp edges, you know, because, man, plywood, it just gives such crisp, sharp edges when you cut it, and it's good to just ease the edge a little bit with the sanding. This is just a foam block. When you're painting, surface preparation is everything. And you know, if I really wanted to be anal about this, I would be probably giving this a damp sponge, just a quick wet wipe, letting it dry, and then I would be brushing out my roller stroke. So I'd be tipping it, you know, just to give it a brush look. After I'm done with the primer, I'm going to be putting a coat of color on, and that's what I'll do. I'm going to tip the color and, you know, give it a more brushed look instead of this dappled, you know, sort of textured look that you get with a roller. Alright, this is just painting, you know? There's like nothing really to show you. It's just, there's only so many angles I can give you, you know? So I figured, hey, why not do a Q&A? Doesn't that sound like a great idea? This one's from Kathy Miller. Kathy, this goes back to vlog, I think 326, where, you know, there's a concern about roof load, like the amount of snow that's on a roof and how it impacts the, you know, the framing underneath. And, you know, aren't there things that we should be doing, you know? This is how houses work in Maine. Somebody comes up with a cool little idea for a nice little house, and they build it. And then like 15 years later, 20 years later, they decide to make an addition, so they glom something on. And then 25 years later, the house is sold, and somebody else makes an addition. They add on to that, and they add on to that. And then you get these weird little additions that need to conform to the structure that came before, so you end up with these strange little shed roof lines that really don't do the house any favors. So sometimes all you can do is rubber roof. Good question. All right, Rob Bobcat asked, oh, it was the vlog about my orchids. You know that yellow and like magenta fuchsia orchid that I have in the windowsill there in the kitchen? We've had that orchid for a number of years. You know, Andrea bought it for me, it bloomed, it was beautiful, and then it sat for a number of years, like 2 or 3 years, and it would not reflower. And we
wondered what the heck is going on, you know. We tried to do what we did with normal plants, you know, give it water and sunlight and food. It turns out that orchids like to be kind of neglected in a way. You know, all they really need for water is just like a daily mist and an east-facing window, you know, where they get some light, but not a lot of direct light, and that really keeps them happy. MLS Yogi asks, is the Rick Springfield book that Andrea is reading worth it? I asked her what she thought about the book and if she would recommend it, and she said she would. I don't think she gave it a glowing review, you know. She's probably a little bit maybe more critical than your average reader just because she's a writer. But she finds his life very interesting, you know. Rick Springfield was a multi-talented, I don't even know enough to know if he's alive. Multi-talented person, artist, musician, you know, all kinds of stuff. So she said, yes, you should check it out for sure. Don't hesitate. Julie Miller asks, if this was after Godzilla was attacked by the foxes, you know, if foxes are prevalent and if predators are a problem, especially wondering about bears. Foxes are prevalent. We see foxes, I would say regularly, not like every day, but we see foxes enough to know that they're definitely around. And, you know, as far as bears, I've never seen a bear in this area. We know they're here. We've seen prints before and scat before, but never, ever, even once seen one. The other predators that the duck has to worry about are like weasels are the big thing, you know? Weasels, and they were attacked by a hawk once. And Godzilla escaped that unscathed as well. So, you know, they do live life in the middle of the woods and nature, and they have to be about their wits. And you do see them on guard a lot, you know, the eye to the sky. And they're intelligent birds when it comes to preserving their life. Ethan Young, Alabama Ethan, and Walking for the Love of Books. Both were interested in Milo's music and how they might get some. And I know that's been a topic that's come up before. And, you know, I tell Milo, and he's really excited to learn that people are interested in his music. And I ask him what he can do and where he can put it, and you know, he might even charge $1 a download or something. I think that's the going rate for a song, or something like that, or just make it free, whatever he wants. And you know, I know he's interested and is willing, but he's a teenager, you know, and trying to compete with all of the other interests out there. You know, he's making new songs, and lately he's been sort of on a flurry. I just got 2 new songs. I don't know if you've noticed in the last few days. And so anyway, he will get it together. And when he does, I will advertise it. I know right now there's a Bandcamp site where there's like 2 of his songs available. And I guess his issue with Bandcamp is that Bandcamp can repackage and sell his music and make money. So I don't know what other platforms he might use, but he could even upload to YouTube, right? We'll figure out a way. Mary Jane Maroon asks, I always get over here and then I forget what you people ask. Mary Jane Maroon asks if we pour the cream off the top of the raw milk that we get to have skim milk and cream, or do we shake it up and mix it in? The short answer is we shake it up and mix it in. You know, if we ever need cream or cream is called for in a recipe, then we just skim it off the top, you know. We have our various little methods to skim the cream off. You know, back when we were more energetic than we are right now anyway, we used to skim the cream off, put it all in a 1 quart, which is, you know, roughly a liter, mason jar, and then we would gently shake it for 20 to 30 minutes. And I don't know if you've ever done that, but if you take fresh cream and put it in a jar and shake it for 30 minutes, it'll turn into butter. It'll just start forming a glob of butter, and it'll turn into a big ball of butter in there, and the remaining liquid is buttermilk. So it's a pretty fun thing to do if you have access to raw milk sometime, and enough to make, you know, like, oh, it doesn't have to be a full quart, but, you know, it could be a couple cups or something. And just shake it for 20 minutes or so, and it'll turn into butter. Kathy Miller asks, in vlog 333, she wonders where those kids with the cows were going that were walking down the street. There's a family that lives on that road that has, you know, pulling oxen. They have a team of them, and they always have for years, and now their daughter's kid has, you know, has taken up the family tradition, and now has a pair of young oxen and is out there training them on the streets. And then the next door neighbor up the street also used to have a team, and you would often see a couple teams out there on the road, and usually they'd be dragging something. One guy would drag a huge giant skidder tire, and it just gives the, you know, trainer, a chance to work with his animals. And a lot of these people, you know, they show their animals at fairs and stuff like that. So they need to practice, you know, parading, giving instructions to the team, having the team respond. And they also need the team to get a workout and to remain strong. So they take them out on the road and they make them drag stuff. The Information Technology QA show asks, there was a recent vlog where I was down, I was waiting for Milo at Driver's Ed, and I went down to the Augusta to the Kennebec River, and I went down to the water, one of the water fronts, and there's this big old castle looking like building. That was, I believe, the federal building when it was originally built, and then it became a major U.S. post office, and now it's kind of a smaller U.S. post office and a bunch of office buildings and rental spaces, you know, but I love that building so much. It's such a cool old structure. All right, that's all of the sides painted, all of the shelves painted, all of the tops and bottoms painted. Now I just need to paint the backs. And mind you, this is just first coat. I have second coat of color, which I think I have some time to do this afternoon. So anyway, that was a fun question and answer. I hope that it was fun for you. I have an idea that a proposition that I think that you all might find fun. What I'd like to start doing is coming up with a daily contest to name my vlog. So you know how I have like whatever today's title is going to be, you know, blowing cellulose, or, you know, painting the day away, and then main vlog 335. What I'd like to do is, you know, put up either what I think should be the title or just main vlog, and then let you guys in the comments come up with what you think the title of that video should be. And then at the end of the day, I'll look at them all and I will edit the title and change it according to what you all come up with. I think that'll be a lot of fun, don't you? Let's give it a try, all right? So this vlog, I don't even know now what it'll be, but I'll throw a title out there, or I won't. I'll just leave it as Maine Vlog 340, and you come up with a title. Just giving this a quick sand before I put on the finish coat, before the color coat goes on. This will just remove any of the grain that was raised, any particles that got stuck to the paint. This will pull it off, and it'll make adhesion of the next layer really, really good. So I have to do this real quick to each of my pieces. Everything's pretty much dry now. It doesn't require but like an hour or maybe 2 tops to dry, so I can just keep moving here. Oh my god, I finished all the priming, I finished sanding all 72 parts of this project. And it's just mind-numbing sanding hour after hour after hour after hour after hour.